Like most of the Fatimid buildings in the city, these palaces were built over by subsequent, and Qalawun actually built his complex on the foundation of one of these palaces. Qalawun's memorial included a large hospital, a madrasa or school-like mosque, distinguished by the teaching spaces on each of the four walls for each of the influential schools of the Islamic thought, and finally, his mausoleum.
Inside the school and the mosque of Qalawun complex, we have a marvelous building with 4 sections or wings. Each wing around us, we call it Iwan. 4 Iwans opens to the courtyard where I am standing. The courtyard is called Sahn. It's open, not roofed, and they never cover such open courtyard to provide light and air and breeze to all the rooms and the interior sections. Working and functioning as a madrasa forced the builders to make some changes in the classical school 4 Iwans. The 4 Iwans around us are not equal in shape, are not equal in size. We have a huge Iwan right in front of us, decorated with these pillars and arches. We call this Iwan Qibla, which faces to Mecca. And that's the main Iwan and the large one. But the other Iwans on the sides, different in design, supported with these 2 pillars and the arches on top of it. This is an Iwan, very small, supported with the arches. While the Iwans on the other side, they are actually surrounded with little rooms. These are the small rooms where the students and the faqih, which the teachers of Islamic studies used to stay. So it is a school with many small rooms on the surroundings. This is places to stay for the students who are coming from outside the town, places to stay for the faqih. Generally speaking, teachers and faqih, they stay on the 2nd floor and on the 3rd floor. So this building used to be 2-3-story house. The ground floor is for the students and for the small classes. The 2nd and the 3rd floor for the teachers and for the faqih. And that's how the building was functioning as mosque, school, and lodges to the students and faqih to stay. And that's the different functions they were able to provide inside the same building. We will go inside together to see the Iwan of Qibla and to enjoy the beautiful design and the stained glass and the marble work inside. Inside the great Iwan of Qibla, or the sanctuary, we have a number of interesting elements we will share with you. We have the sitting of the pillars around us. It is all granite and marble. with obvious Roman capitals, and the layout of this room with a row of pillars on that side and another row of pillars on the other side supported with the arches, it takes us right away to the famous Byzantine basilica design of churches. So the Iwan itself, for the very first moment we enter it, it takes us to the basilica church design with the obvious row of pillars and arches around us. Then we look to the most important element right here, which the Qibla, the sanctuary. One of the reasons why the whole madrasa was occupying that particular corner on the main road behind it is the direction, because Qibla must face Mecca, and Mecca here is southeast, and that's why the sanctuary or the Qibla of the mosque is pointed to Mecca. We have remains of the original marble work. We have the mother of a pearl with marble. We have also the beautiful gold glass on top of the Qibla, which originally from the times of Qalawun. If we go and look at the beautiful glass work in gold and in green and in blue, and this is one of the important original elements in this mosque. The mihrab or minbar. Mihrab and minbar considered one of the original elements here. However, we do have a lot of restoration done to the minbar. One of the important elements still exists in this place is the remains of some of the colors on the ceiling in one of the corners. The place is heavily restored in the last 20-30 years, but some of the original colors still can be seen all the way on top. But we can imagine the original ceiling of this great complex and the colors that it used to be there. And finally, the reason why this section or E1 is larger than the other ones, this is the place where most of the prayers of the students take place. So they make it large, so this was the main mosque, bigger than the other ones.
The highlight of the Qalawun complex is the mausoleum. It was modeled on the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, but it stands out in its own right. The building was restored as part of the project to revive the entire Al-Mu'izz Street, and it now stands out as one of the most beautiful monuments in Cairo. In fact, it is regarded as one of the most beautiful buildings across the Muslim world. Mausoleum to compete with the famous Taj Mahal of India. And this brings us to the end of this episode of Treasures. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, it's goodbye.